I'm Isis Romero, and this is the news in San Antonio. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help in finding a man who they believe is connected to the death of his missing wife. Deputies say 37-year-old Crystal Proctor was found dead inside a van back in May. Simone Simpson has the new developments on this investigation.
The death of 37-year-old Crystal Proctor is not being classified as a homicide, but investigators say one man's actions they're searching for raised enough concern to start a nationwide search. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office gave an update Monday afternoon on the death of missing 37-year-old woman Crystal Proctor. Investigators found a van with her body in this area, the 8800 block of Cinnamon Creek. BCSO said they responded to a call of a missing person on May 7th around 10:11 a.m. The agency's missing persons unit immediately tried to locate Proctor, who had been missing since April 27th. Officials say John Gregory Brown, 43, who was Proctor's husband, was seen wearing a green long-sleeve shirt, blue pants, and a red head covering, seen in this image from BCSO.
Took the steps, as you see, to mask his identity. At that point, he made efforts to disguise where he was at that point. He left his phone behind at the residence, and we believe he took steps actively to impede the investigation, took steps to make sure that we did not find her body in a timely fashion.
Salazar emphasized that Brown would not be charged with murder at this time, as Proctor's death has not been ruled a homicide by the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office. Brown is now believed to be living out of state, likely somewhere on the East Coast. If you have any information on Brown, you're asked to call BCSO at 210-335-6000. Reporting for KENS 5, I'm Simone Simpson.
What started as a call for help in Bandera County ended in tragedy. The sheriff says they found the body of the woman who was swept away by floodwaters early Monday morning. Zach Briggs has the story.
I don't know her, but I've cried multiple times, checked Facebook. It's just so sad.
Ashley Coiner lives near this low water crossing where crews kept busy throughout the afternoon. Drones deployed, dozens of people banded together to search for the woman who was taken over by floodwaters.
So happy that we're far enough away that we were safe, and it's devastating.
Bandera County Sheriff Joshua Tighe says it all began with a distressing 911 call.
Approximately 5:30 this morning, my 911 dispatch received a call, a 911 call from a female who was in the river in her vehicle.
Tighe says it's believed the woman did not intentionally try to drive through the Mason Creek crossing. That call didn't last long.
We couldn't find out where she was. We were trying to get landmarks and so on, but she's very disoriented. It was dark. And then after about maybe 3 or 4 minutes, we lost contact on the phone.
Earlier in the day, crews found debris belonging to the woman's car, including a bumper located 12 feet off the ground. For Coiner, all the uncertainty was especially disturbing as she remembers last year's tragedy in the Hill Country.
July 4th, we lost people in that we knew that we were really close with. So, of course, this hits hard. This feels like it's bringing back a lot of it.
Now, that missing woman was identified on Tuesday as Joelle Taylor. The search for her highlighted just how difficult and dangerous floodwater rescues can be. As Sue Kalberg shows us, first responders turned to a specialized machine that can help search areas too hazardous for crews.
In Bandera County, the machine that made the difference is called SHERP. It says Save and Serve, and it certainly did.
It's 100% amphibious, so it floats on top of the water. It's propelled by the wheels that you see in the background.
When terrain is too tough,
the biggest thing is that it can get us to you faster, and it keeps my people safer. That's the biggest value of it.
And lives are at stake.
We were able to go down, 14 to 16 miles down that creek into the Medina River searching very quickly. We did it in about 4 hours.
Here, it wasn't the result they had hoped for, but it brought a flooding victim home to her family. The chief calls it a blessing bestowed by last year's July 4th flood, when a volunteer showed up to help.
And he was like, "How can I help? If there's one thing you need, Chief, what would it be?"
It's a $250,000 point of pride in a tiny town of a few thousand people. It's the ability to do a big job well anywhere.
We're ready to deploy wherever we're needed. So our plan was to give back tenfold, and we've already put a step forward in that.
All this and more. Get ready. They say this summer they will announce a capital campaign to build a new fire station where they will be able to serve all of the community all the time. Stay tuned for the details. In Center Point, Sue Kalberg, KENS 5.
Ribbon cuttings were held for 3 new restaurants at the San Antonio International Airport on top of existing offerings. Travelers now have 3 more options with Chef Jason Dady's Tray Pizzeria, Chef Elizabeth Johnson's Farm Table, and Chef Johnny Hernandez's Southtown Market.
It's about the local support and being able to travel through our local airport and be able to dine with local chefs and operators is such a privilege and an honor for all of us that are on our team, and something that we don't take lightly, something that we take incredibly seriously, to really just showcase the food and the food culture of San Antonio to everybody that travels.
The airport says the new additions are designed to give visitors a taste of San Antonio while traveling. And that's the news in San Antonio.